What's going on, people? Joey Talks Boxing. A fight recap of the Usyk and Dubois fight. First of all, I thought that the production quality was tremendous. You know, what they did in Poland was awesome. The lights, the signs, everything. I was like, wow, this is cool, you know, because they don't do a lot of that really in the United States so much. They don't really do a lot of that. So I was like, wow, like this is pretty cool. Excuse me for squinting. Just the sun's a little bit in my eyes. But then they had this dude singing, and he was getting the crowd hype. I don't know what his name was, but he was awesome. Usyk comes out. Dubois, first thing that I noticed was he looked light. And I was like, okay, he's coming in light. I'm assuming he wants to move around more. He knows Usyk's going to fight at a faster pace. But a part of me then was thinking like, yeah, but maybe part of that is a bad idea because you want to be able to bully Usyk and size him up. So I thought it was a mistake early on. Dubois, early in the fight, wasn't really doing much. You know, in the first two rounds, I thought Usyk was really controlling the pace and winning it. But then in round 3, I thought Dubois did a little bit better. Maybe he won the round, maybe he didn't. Round 4, he won the round. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, Dubois starting to do a little bit better. And then in round 5, we get into the big storyline of the fight, the big controversy of the fight. Usyk and Dubois. Dubois hits Usyk on the belt. And what looked like at the time to be a normally perfectly legal body shot. And he knocks the wind out of Usyk. Usyk's on the floor, hurt, in a lot of pain. The ref immediately called it a low blow. Usyk was hurt bad, you know, in terms of his low blow. And it looked like, had it been ruled a knockdown, Usyk would be unable to get up before the 10 count. Now, granted, you could always make the argument, yeah, but if it was ruled a knockdown, Usyk would have gotten up at the 10 count, you know, by the 10 count. And he was taking the extra time because of the fact that it was a low blow. So I totally get that. He took almost a full 5 minutes, and there was a point in it where I was like, wow, is he going to not be able to get up after 5 minutes? The referee calls it a low blow. I'm like, all right, we're going to have to see replays. I saw the replay on the TV. It really was hard to tell, honestly, the angles that they had. It looked like it was on the belt. Now, people have to understand that the belt is not a set thing. It's very fight to fight. It varies on a fight to fight basis. The referees, before the fight, the referee comes into each corner and tells them, I'm going to call this low, I'm going to call this low. And he points to the belt or below the belt or above the belt, depending on where the fighter's wearing the trunks. And then he restates that before the fight in the ring. I don't know what the referee said before the fight, so I can't say. But what I didn't like was that when Usyk said he was ready to go, the referee was like, oh, take another minute, take another minute. It was almost like the referee was on, like, Usyk's side. I'm like, what? Like, you're supposed to be neutral. Like, the hometown bias seemed very clear in that scenario. I was like, what? And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. But then Usyk gets back up, proceeds to win the rest of that round. And Dubois was doing some successful stuff, but I thought he abandoned the body too much. But then he was landing some pretty good body shots in there. And a lot of them that I thought were legal after that, the referee was saying, oh, that's too low, it's too low. And I'm like, I don't know. And Usyk was looking at the ref, complaining to the ref, whatever. I don't love when fighters do that, but he's doing what he has to do to get an advantage. But I blame the referee because, like, I don't think all those shots were low. However, Usyk then turns around the fight, dominates him, drops him. I think it was in the 8th round. I'm like, all right. And I think in round 9, he hurts him again and drops him. And Daniel Dubois quit. I don't know what other way to put it. He's looking at the ref. Then he gets up at 9, pretends like he's interested in walking around after the 10 count. He's doing the Ryan Garcia. And this is disappointing for Dubois because he did the same thing, in my opinion, versus Joe Joyce. But with Joyce, at least you could say, okay, it was the eye. He had a reason. The eye is a serious injury. That's not like a bone or whatever. Here, it just looked like he mentally checked out. And that's what Usyk does. He really puts pressure on you mentally. It makes you fight at a fast pace. Listen, it's no secret Usyk doesn't love it to the body. I mean, that's the way you're going to beat Usyk. You would think to go to the body. But I just don't think that Daniel Dubois has what it takes mentally to be a champion. Now, I looked at the replay after the fight on Twitter, and I looked at different replays. Now, you can't go off pictures because pictures, they're misleading you, and you have to see all angles, and you could see a guy hitting him properly on the belt, but that's a second after he was low. I looked at the replay video. It was clearly a low blow. I don't really see this being much of a controversy, honestly. Frank Warren, after the fight, was going off. He's a promoter, saying all this stuff. Your guy lost, and your guy quit. Dubois, after the fight, was doing all this stuff. You lost, and you quit. And it was a clear low blow, and you got outclassed. And does this warrant a rematch? Absolutely not. Usyk knocked you out. It wasn't competitive. Not really. The only competitive part was the low blow, so that doesn't warrant a rematch. So for me, I think Usyk wins, and for me, Usyk is the heavyweight champion of the world as far as I'm concerned. I said that before the fight. He holds 3 titles. He's fighting mandatory fights. Fury holds 1 title. He's fighting an MMA fighter. So regardless of what you or I think would happen if they fought in a hypothetical fight, that's not what's happening now, and Fury is to blame for that. So I got to say that Alexander Usyk, great victory. You are the heavyweight champion of the world. You hold 3 belts. And let's see who he fights next, because I know the winner of Zhang and Joyce is a mandatory. I know Hrgovic's another mandatory. You know, and the rest of the division is going to pretend like he doesn't exist. Fury is not going to pretend like he doesn't exist. Wilder and Joshua, they're not fighting him. They're going to fight each other next. So where's he left to go? He's got to fight mandatories. So, yeah, I don't blame him. But a lot of people also said that Deontay Wilder, this shows that he would knock Usyk out. First of all, Deontay Wilder's never landed a body punch in his life. So I don't know where that comes from this. But maybe he would. You know, that's an opinion. But as of right now, we have to go off what we could go off of, and that is that Usyk is the #1 heavyweight in the world right now. So, great victory for Alexander Usyk. Let me know what you guys think. Was it a low blow? Was it legal? You let me know what you guys think. But for me, it was a clear low blow. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you think Usyk is the #1 heavyweight or is it Fury. Peace.